Good morning, just after 6, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, and Miss Erin. Local news is coming up next.
All eyes on the Gulf Coast region. Because of the storm, we won't have the governor with us here this morning. He's got to stay in Baton Rouge. We'll be talking more about that. Also, a shooting early this morning on Herndon. We'll have details on that. And an area assistant police chief gets the axe.
City fined $189,000 by the state of Louisiana for not filling out tax forms in a timely manner. Erin had some interesting conversations yesterday.
Boy, did I.
With a number of folks around town. We'll see how much of those she can share. And if she can share names.
Ew.
Fletcher Sports, traffic, and weather. And it's all coming up this hour right here on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
All eyes on the Gulf Coast region.
Currently, we do have a hurricane watch, which is in effect for portions of the mouth of the Mississippi to Cameron.
Hurricane specialist Dave Roberts, Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards declaring a state of emergency.
What I want to impress upon everyone is that even though at present we're talking about a storm system that is unnamed, you only have to go back to 2016 to remember exactly how dangerous and catastrophic unnamed storms can be. And so we all need to take this very, very seriously.
At least 10 to 15 inches of rain expected to fall in some areas. Now, Insurance Commissioner Jim Donlin has some tips on how to prepare in case you have damage from the storm.
Get in line as soon as possible to get a claims adjuster assigned to your claim so that process can be expedited.
Donlin says that goes for cars as well, as the 2016 August flooding event resulted in 60,000 flooded cars, costing $700 million for state auto insurers. Shreveport police investigating an early morning shooting. According to investigators, a man was shot multiple times about 3:30 this morning on Herndon Avenue. The victim suffered wounds to the hand, leg, and butt. No arrests have been made. Assistant police chief is fired. Dwayne Brumley fired by the town of Manny after Brumley allegedly cursed out two members during a meeting last month. During that same meeting, the mayor of Manny was arrested for allegedly speed and resisting arrest. Two educational powerhouses partner up for a new research center. Matt Parker with that.
LSU Health Shreveport and Louisiana Tech have announced they are partnering up for a new research center. The center will focus on tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Health officials say the partnership is a game changer and can benefit over 1 million people across the state. On top of the benefits for patients, school officials say it will be an economic boom for the area. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Also on the school front, Caddo Parish hosting a couple of job fairs next week. They're looking for bus drivers and attendants. Candidates will be interviewed and potentially hired on the spot. The first event is Monday from 9 to 1. The second is happening at North Caddo High from 9 to 1 on July 17th. Praise Temple gearing up for their 20th annual Better Together Back to School Supply Giveaway. The prayer service and giveaway will happen August 7th at Praise Temple Church on Greenwood Road. If you'd like to donate, you can drop off supplies or cash at the church. After a nearly 3-hour hearing, a judge will allow the police's interview with Jeronia Crosby to be heard at her second-degree murder trial. Crosby, along with 15-year-old Alonzo Wilson, is accused of shooting and killing airman Joshua Kidd outside his Bossier home. During the interview, Crosby admitted to breaking into cars in Kidd's neighborhood, but denies killing Kidd. Popeyes recalling more than 35,000 pounds of gravy. According to the producer, the gravy may contain clear plastic. Now, there have not been any reports of injury due to the possible contamination, but as a safety precaution, all Popeyes have been ordered to not serve the gravy until their supply has been inspected. And an armored truck spilled a lot of cash on a highway near Atlanta. It was on Highway 285. $175,000 in cash flew out. Only 2 people have returned any of the money. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Thursday morning traffic. First one of the day. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app is a free download from Office Furniture Source. Let's start with New Orleans. What's the deal? It's a mess. Our friend Daniel Erspamer from the Pelican Institute think tank. Did you see? Do it right now. You got
Okay.
Facebook up?
Yeah.
Look at his page. Look at his house. Look at his downstairs.
No.
He's about 5 or 6 inches underwater.
No.
And that was yesterday afternoon.
Not again.
Yeah.
Poor Danielson. Man.
Are you looking?
Yes.
Look at the one where the
Oh
bookcase.
my gosh, stuff is floating around his office.
It's his house.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I know what you mean.
God bless him. He's going to be moving, I'm sure. How can you go through this more than twice and not move? Not say, I can't do this again. I just cannot do this. Oh.
So what's
Daniel, I have a friend who called me yesterday. She was leaving from Shreveport on a bus headed to New Orleans for a monster convention of her sorority. And they were going to be at the convention center. I need to check in with her this morning and see if they've turned around, because the convention center is close to where there was a lot of flooding, huh? Downtown was, parts of downtown was underwater.
And usually the French Quarter is spared most of that. But if you look at some of the videos, Bourbon Street, etc., there's 3, 4, 5 inches of water
Right.
in the street
Yeah.
right now. And the
Oh,
rain
boy.
continues. So what's the story? What's the latest?
Well,
Hurricane? Is it a hurricane, an official hurricane?
No, it's
or are we
still
a tropical storm?
No, we're still not even a tropical storm yet, but we do have hurricane watches in effect for all of the coast of Louisiana, a little portion of Texas. The track is now moving it where it's going to come just a little to the east of us. It's going to come, across the state, and Monroe looks
By
to be the
late
hardest hit up our
weekend, early on
yeah,
Monday, I
late
guess.
weekend, 7 a.m. Sunday, it's going to be kind of the middle of the state. Then 7 a.m. Monday, it'll be up in the northern part of the
That's
state.
a slow-moving storm.
Yeah, but it's dumping. There's some parts of our state could see 20 inches of rainfall. It's just incredible. And I
saw the tornado picture on Facebook yesterday, where it was lakefront near University of New Orleans,
yes.
and I thought it was fake. I thought somebody put a Photoshop up. Somebody just
Wasn't that a water spout rather than a tornado?
Well, it came on land, and if you look at the photos, if you look at the video, you can see it.
Yeah, it caused
off
damage.
the ground in the air.
It was unbelievable.
But if you see that, it literally looks like a fake photo. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was until this morning when I came in and saw it. I saw the video a little while ago.
Yeah.
And so if you see that and you go, oh, that's somebody doctored that. Mm-hmm. No, that's legit.
Right. Oh goodness. Who's our buddy that runs the Superdome in New Orleans?
Cicero.
Is he still there?
I don't know.
We need to give him a call. I'll buzz him. I've got his digits somewhere, and we need to give him a buzz and see what's going on in that area around the Superdome, etc. Because the Superdome will have to be used.
Well, he was outside the Super. He was more about the Louisiana New Orleans Sports Authority.
Okay.
Frank Cicero, I think was it.
Okay. Well, I might catch up with him because I know he's down there, and I have a friend down there or was headed there. I don't know if they've turned him around or not, but
So, forecast for New Orleans. Matt, you're headed down there next week, supposedly.
Yeah.
Every time you plan a trip to New Orleans, there's a hurricane.
Not necessarily a hurricane, but a strong storm that just seems to tear things up where I can't enjoy the city because things get shut down.
So how torn up are things in New Orleans? What's the damage? What's the outlook for the next, say, 48 hours for the Crescent City?
Well, flooding, high water. The big problem here is people are not talking a lot about it, is the Mississippi River is already saturated. The Mississippi River is expected to get upwards of 20 feet plus, which would be its highest level ever. You've got the Mississippi River completely saturated. You've got all this rain falling into a bowl, which is New Orleans. The water cannot drain into the Mississippi because guess what? It's full. Where's it going to go?
Why would you spend why would you spend money on pumps for your city when you can move Confederate statues?
Oh, Robert, good God. They have pumps. They have 120 pumps.
How many of them work?
118.
Really?
Glad you asked, because they did a check.
If a New Orleans city official, let me ask you this. If a New Orleans city official said to you, 118 out of 120 pumps are working, and then you look out the window and you see Bourbon Street and Canal Street underwater, would you for an instant put an ounce of credibility Hell, even if the streets were dry, would you put an ounce of credibility into anything that anyone in that city's bureaucracy told you? All the pumps are working, but I'm looking out the window. Who are you going to believe, me or your own lying eyes?
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point. I just know that flooding is going to be a key problem. The National Guard's already been called in. They're hauling sandbags all across that area.
Imagine if the pumps weren't working.
Ooh, boy.
Oh, brother. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Erin had some interesting conversations yesterday.
Boy, did I.
I just don't know what of those.
Some were off the record now.
Well,
so I've got
off the record to some people means one thing. Off the record to you, luckily for us.
No. Don't say that because that'll ruin it. Off the record's off the record. I promise.
Yeah. We'll ply her with beef jerky.
No.
Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Starting your day off looking pretty clear for your early morning drive to work, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on Uri Drive near East Kings Highway. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Walk-Ons Independence Bowl kickoff dinner is tonight downtown Shreveport Convention Center. Dinner starts around 6 o'clock. Your featured speaker tonight, former North Webster Knight, former LSU Tiger, current rookie for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Devin White. The Mudbugs, well, the future Mudbugs, are on the ice in Canton, Michigan today through Sunday as part of the main camp. Over 150 players have assembled there, and the Bugs will take the genesis of their team from this camp. They'll assemble at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum in late August to try to winnow it down to the roster for the fourth season of Mudbugs hockey. Major League Baseball season resumes this evening in Arlington, Texas, when the Astros, the front-runners in the West, take on the Rangers for the first of four. Framber Valdez goes up against Lance Lynn to get the second half of the Major League Baseball season underway. And at Wimbledon this morning, Serena Williams tries to become the oldest player to qualify for a Grand Slam final when she takes on Barbora Strakova in the semifinals at Wimbledon. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, Shreveport Security Systems text line, 318-392-1884. Okay, so the biggest story was today, Thursday. What we've been talking about probably more than anything else and trying to get more information about is the $189,000 fine levied on the city of Shreveport by the state of Louisiana for not filing payroll tax forms of city employees in a timely manner. And the city was fined $189,000. So you were making a lot of calls yesterday. You got a lot of, look, we went on the radio and solicited leaks.
Yeah, and we got some.
So what can you tell us? Who can you say that you talked to? Can you mention any names?
Well, yeah.
What did you find out?
One name I will mention is Ollie Tyler, because I called former Mayor Tyler. And
now, why did you call former Mayor Tyler?
Because it happened under her watch. These fines were levied in November and December.
Of 2018.
She was mayor. Adrian Perkins did not take over mayor until December 29th. So the fines were already levied. And I only have to believe they don't levy fines until you've missed a report for a quarter. I mean, you file quarterly.
Yeah.
So this was probably
have to assume
probably for the third quarter.
Have to assume there was some kind of warning letter.
There had to be some kind of warning letter.
Or more than one.
Mm-hmm. And I firmly can tell you that in my conversation, and I had a lengthy conversation with Mayor Tyler, and some of it off the record, some of it on the record. What was on the record was she had no knowledge of this. And had she known this, she would have taken care of it. She said, I handled my business. The record is clear. I handled my business. And anyone who knows me will tell you that. And I also got texts from current city employees, former city employees, elected officials, former elected officials, who agreed with her. Had she known about this, this would have been taken care of. Had she or Brian Crawford known about this, it would have been taken care of.
Did you attempt to get
which
in touch
implies
with
that
former...
Brian Crawford did not know about it.
Did you attempt to get in touch with former CAO Crawford?
I did.
Any response?
No response from him, but I did text him. And my issue was he left office about Thanksgiving week, correct? Somewhere in there. So he was gone.
He was out a little early, as I recall.
He was out early, so he may not have even known about the December one. What I'm piecing together.
Pardon me just a second. So what former Mayor Tyler told you was that she was unaware of either of the fines.
Completely unaware, and I totally believe her. She would not lie to me about that. She would have told me, yeah, I knew about it, and I took action. We dropped the ball on. She would have told me that. She really would have.
So the question is, I guess, as of July 11th, 2019, have those fines been paid? Who paid them, and when were they paid?
Well, I'm sure they've been paid. You have to pay them. You can't just let those sit. Were they paid in December or before he took office? I don't know. I don't know when the checks were written.
City of Shreveport's let a lot of stuff sit, evidently enough to get fined $189,000.
Well, you have to pay those fines. Those are not things you can let go. You have to take care of that business.
Just is instinctively when Miss Ollie tells you, I didn't know as mayor that my city had been fined $189,000 by the state of Louisiana. What is your response to that? What's your initial...
Oh, you want to know my next question? Shouldn't you have known about it? And her response to that was, absolutely. It should have been brought to my attention. We should have known, myself and Brian Crawford should have been alerted that something wasn't done and that we were facing fines. But she said in her case, she didn't want to speak for Brian Crawford, but she said in her case, she did not know. And she felt like Brian did not know. What I think happened, and this is Erin speculating completely. I think, let's just take the three of us in this room. Matt's mayor. I'm Brian Crawford. You're the person who handles the filing.
I'm the one
in the
who
finance department.
didn't hold up my end of the deal.
Okay? You get surgery on your back, and you're out for 6 or 8 weeks. Well, those things are normally handled by you. You individually take care of that. You've always done it. There's never been a problem. You've been spot on the money. But when you went on your sick leave for your back surgery or whatever it was, you didn't notify somebody, hey, take care of this, flag this. So when those things came due after the third quarter, they didn't get filed. And the notices got sent to you. Well, guess what? Your mail was piling up because you were gone. You didn't get those notices. And nor did the notices apparently go to the finance director. If they did, we're not being told that because the finance director is still there. Charles Madden is still the finance director. If they went to him, we haven't been told that yet. But I think possibly those notices got stacked up on somebody's desk.
So what you're saying
and
is,
sat there.
What you're saying is the forms that didn't. Your speculation is
that's me only.
That all the forms that didn't get filled out over an entire, you speculate,
it's
3
a quarter
or 4 months. Then all the warnings that came in from the state, and then it just happened to fall through the cracks.
I think it fell through the cracks.
Could have happened to anybody.
Because somebody that was in charge of handling that was not around to take care of it and didn't alert somebody. Now, when I told the mayor that, the former mayor that, I said, could that have happened? Could that have been how this happened? She said, it could. She said, but in my view, in my thinking, I would think somebody from the state would have called the finance director, would have called the mayor's office and said, hey, we usually get these. Was there a problem? Did we lose them in the mail? Well, what's up? Or did we miss an email? Whatever it is. I don't know how they're submitted. And alerted somebody. She said she thinks it would have happened like that.
The more you try to explain this away, the more ludicrous your explanation becomes.
And there were people who said,
hold your thought. We gotta go. It's running away.
Yeah.
Don't lose your train of thought. I'm most intrigued.
Okay.
And I need to know who else you didn't talk to yesterday.
Right.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Of information. KEEL News now.
Hurricane watches are in effect for parts of the Louisiana coastline with a storm forming in the Gulf likely to make landfall by this weekend.
In addition to the hurricane and storm surge watches, we also have a tropical storm watch, which is in effect from the mouth of the Mississippi River northward to the mouth of the Pearl River.
Hurricane specialist Dave Roberts with the National Hurricane Center. Governor John Bel Edwards is preparing for this massive event.
We know that this is going to be a Louisiana event now in all probability. This is going to be a heavy rainfall event across South Louisiana. And I want everyone to be mindful that heavy rains could be experienced anywhere across the state.
The National Guard has been called in to help with the preparation efforts. LSU Health Shreveport and Louisiana Tech announcing they're partnering up for a new research center. The center will focus on tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Health officials say the partnership is a game changer and can benefit more than 1 million people across our state. On top of the benefits for patients, school officials say it will be an economic boom for the area. An interview with a murder suspect will be allowed at trial. Matt Parker has the latest.
After a nearly 3-hour hearing, a judge will allow police's interview with Jeriona Crosby to be heard at her second-degree murder trial. Crosby, along with 15-year-old Alonzo Wilson, is accused of shooting and killing Airman Joshua Kidd outside his Bossier City home. In the interview, Crosby admitted to breaking into cars in Kidd's neighborhood, but denies being involved in Kidd's killing. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport police investigating an early morning shooting. According to investigators, a man was shot multiple times about 3:30 this morning on Herndon Avenue. The victim suffered wounds to the hand, leg, and buttocks. No arrests have yet been made. A top U.S. Air Force general accused of sexual misconduct. Carmen Roberts has that.
Sexual misconduct allegations against a top general are calling into question his nomination to be the next vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. A senior military official tells the Associated Press Air Force General John Hyten subjected her to a series of unwanted sexual advances while she was one of his aides in 2017. Members of Congress have questions about the allegations and the military investigation earlier this year that found insufficient evidence to charge him. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Assistant Police Chief is fired. Dwayne Brumley fired by the Manny Town Council after Brumley allegedly cursed out 2 members during a meeting last month. Now, during that same meeting, the mayor of Manny was arrested for allegedly speeding and resisting arrest. Caddo Schools hosting 2 job fairs next week. They're looking for bus drivers and attendants. Candidates will be interviewed and potentially hired on the spot. The first event happens Monday at the Wanda Gun Development Center on Midway from 9 to 1. The second will happen at North Caddo High from 9 to 1. That's on July 17th. Some of Elvis's vehicles, including his prized limo, going on the auction block.
Cruise GWS Auctions said the items will be part of its Artifacts of Hollywood auction August 31st. Fans will be able to bid on Presley's white-on-white 1973 Lincoln Continental Stretch limousine. Also up for auction, a 1976 Harley-Davidson Electra Glide motorcycle, which was also the last motorcycle Presley ever purchased. And finally, a GMC pickup he purchased for his Circle G ranch in Mississippi. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
New list is out with the best cities in the U.S. to visit. New York City is number 5, followed by Savannah, Georgia. New Orleans is number 3 on the list. Santa Fe, New Mexico, number 2. And Charleston, South Carolina is number 1. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Really short segment here because we ran a little long in the previous.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get back to that in just a couple of seconds because you talked to lots of folks about this fine stuff, about not getting the tax forms in. City getting fined $189,000. See the photo I just sent you?
Yes,
Mark, you see the photo I just sent you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Facebook yesterday, I guess it was about 8 or 9 o'clock last night, I saw that. And it was, 3 hours old at that point.
Oh, my goodness. So it's today? This person is here today?
Yes, yeah, I guess. The photo is from yesterday evening or yesterday afternoon.
Oh, my. Go ahead.
No, you take it.
O.J. Simpson's in town to play golf.
Guess so.
It's a picture of him with somebody local.
Now, would you let O.J. hug your daughter?
Ugh.
And what do you tell your kid? Daddy, who's that you wanted me to take the picture with? You got somebody to take a... Who is that man? Well, he was a very famous football player. Was in a funny movie called Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
What's he doing here? I mean, does he just like to play golf here? Does he have friends here? What's the story?
His family in the area, Castor area.
Okay.
When his nephew called us that day, was he a Castor resident?
God, I don't remember. Somewhere out that way, but he was in town for a wedding, and he comes, hangs out,
There
plays
was a family
golf.
reunion or something up Castor way.
So, who's he staying with?
Maybe he has a house.
No.
He's here often enough, it would seem.
No. No. Really? Oh, boy. Well, O.J. Simpson's in town. He arrived last night at the airport, correct?
Evidently so. And he's doing
Playing
selfies.
golf.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Who did Erin talk to yesterday about this? We didn't get our tax stuff in on time and got fined by the state. Controversy. That continues next. Right now, here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got it clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig of the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Jack Spring electric shockbuster button so far unused. Came close a little earlier in the morning, but you hit the off button just at the right moment.
Right, in the nip of time, so definitely.
So I couldn't have phrased that better myself. Right in the nip of time.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the city's fined $189,000 by the state for failing to file proper tax forms for city employees or failing to file them in a timely manner or just not filing them at all. $189,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so you already told us that you talked yesterday with Mayor Tyler. And you related part of that conversation. You said she was unaware of any sort of warnings that came from the state.
Right.
She was unaware that the city had been fined, though the fines were levied in November and December when she was still mayor, November, December of last year.
Yes.
Brian Crawford, CAO at the time, well, not really, because he was out middle of November. Mr. Bryan, you got in touch with him, no response.
So far, no response,
So,
yeah.
Who else did you talk to? Who got in touch with you? We went on the air and solicited leaks. Who
we got
wants
some
to tell
leaks.
us? Who can tell us what they know?
I'm not going to give you any more names, but rest assured I spoke to several people who have inside information about what went down. And I do know somebody was on sick leave. Somebody was out on extended sick leave. I have been told that. Whether or not that was the person in charge of handling these, I'm not certain on that. That is something that you have to consider.
What's the first thing you do when you get ready to go on vacation? When you know you're going to be out, what's the first thing you do? Be sure.
Yeah, I send an email with all the duties. Now there is a possibility something gets left off that list. I mean, that could happen.
Tax forms?
Before we went to break, I was bringing up something. Let me get back to it because we'll miss it. Somebody sent me this email. I'm not going to say who it was. To me, something doesn't sit right. If this was indeed during the Tyler administration where the filing wasn't done, when was the due date? That due date is the driving factor. If, though, the filing was for 2018 and was not due until sometime in early 2019, then the Perkins administration would have a hand in this fiasco, wouldn't you think? And I wanted to clear this up because a lot of people are saying this. The city was fined in November and December. So they were already late. It wasn't like these hit in December and now we're being fined after the first of the year.
No, we were fined $142,000
right.
in November and then another $47,000 in December when Miss Ollie was still.
It was 49. It was 140 and 49.
Okay.
Just clarify. But it was November and December
of 2018.
Right. Those were the fines. So it leads me to believe it was for filings for the third quarter, which were not sent in on time.
Or the second quarter or
Could
the
be,
first
yeah.
quarter or
Could be.
however much grace period they give you.
Now, I asked whether or not I did speak to Mayor Tyler, and she said she had no knowledge of this. And had she known, she would have taken care
Does
of
this
it.
seem, and I know nothing about the City Hall bureaucracy, does this seem like, and pardon me, did she also speculate at least, give you the idea that former CAO Crawford was ignorant of these activities also?
She gave me that impression. But the other thing is, you can't be the CAO of the city and not know you're fixing to write a $180,000 check. She said he would have probably had to have known that, but he may have been gone. And that leads you to think, well, Sharika Fields Jones was his assistant at the time.
The current
CAO. Surely she should have had knowledge of it if he was already gone. Somebody in the CAO's office had to know a check was being written for that amount. I mean, you just can't come in and write a check for that amount.
Assuming for the moment that it has in fact been paid.
Oh, I'm sure it's been paid. I would be shocked if they have not paid it yet.
I was shocked they haven't filled out the forms.
Yeah, you got a point. But, we're quarterbacking this before the lights in the stadium are on yet, because you still have to finish the audit. It is not complete. The city council's called for a full investigation to get to the bottom of it, to find out who was responsible for filling out these forms, who did not do it, because apparently it looks like we did it for everything prior to this. There was these two incidents that we missed.
We keep doing these audits and things just seem to get uncovered.
I did ask former Mayor Tyler about these audits. Were these routine? She said, these are absolutely routine. We do internal and external audits routinely on every department, and this uncovered something that's pretty glaring. That's kind of where we are.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Your money now. Barksdale Federal Credit Union just ahead. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got to clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast, could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig of the Weather Channel.
The stories you want to know about. We've got breaking news and trending talk right here on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.107 FM, 710 KEEL. Fletcher's here, sports time.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Walk-Ons Independence Bowl kickoff dinner is tonight downtown Shreveport Convention Center. Dinner starts around 6 o'clock. Your featured speaker tonight, former North Webster Knight, former LSU Tiger, current rookie for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Devin White. The Mudbugs, well, the future Mudbugs, are on the ice in Canton, Michigan today through Sunday as part of the main camp. Over 150 players have assembled there, and the Bugs will take the genesis of their team from this camp. They'll assemble at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum in late August to try to winnow it down to the roster for the fourth season of Mudbugs hockey. Major League Baseball season resumes this evening in Arlington, Texas, when the Astros, the front-runners in the West, take on the Rangers for the first of four. Framber Valdez goes up against Lance Lynn to get the second half of the Major League Baseball season underway. And at Wimbledon this morning, Serena Williams tries to become the oldest player to qualify for a Grand Slam final when she takes on Barbora Strakova in the semifinals at Wimbledon. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.107 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, New Orleans update. What's the deal? How much rain? What's the forecast for Good heavens, the next 24, 36 hours.
Well, you can see all the details at keelnews.com from the National Hurricane Center. We just posted the updated information.
Is this Barry thing, it's not still tropical storm, tropical depression, not a hurricane yet?
Not a hurricane yet. It's expected to be a Cat 1 hurricane, FYI. So it's not a strong hurricane.
In the scheme of hurricanes, it's not
a wuss.
But
it's popping some rainfall totals that are just going to be catastrophic. And we say that not to worry people, but the problem is the Mississippi River is overflowing with water. And so you think about the bowl that is New Orleans, that is under sea level, 15 inches of rain. They got like 8 inches of rain yesterday in like 3 hours, some crazy amount. And you've got another 10 inches of rain could be coming. And you have a Mississippi River where you're trying to pump the water to that is overfilled.
In other words, you're saying there's no place for it to go,
There's
no place to put it.
place to pump the water, though your pumps may be working. I saw a report that New Orleans has 120 pumps, if I'm quoting right.
Well, if there's...
And 118 of them were working.
If there's anybody you can believe, it's the New Orleans Department of Public Works.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah. But that's the problem. The Mississippi River is overfilled.
What's the forecast for us for this same storm?
I'm looking at the tracking path now that they just put out this morning. It's looking like it's going to go just a smidge to the east of us. So it's the Monroe area is going to get the bulk of the rainfall, but we could still get some of the backlash from the rain this weekend.
Saturday and Sunday, I guess.
You bet.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Rush.
The Daily Beast had a headline to announce it: Swalwell that ends well. California Democrat Eric Swalwell, Democrat congressman, calling off his presidential campaign after 3 rigorous months of no success. The Daily Beast must not like Swalwell very much. The headline continued, "Good riddance to another white guy." And then the leftist Daily Beast rolled out a slew of insults. Swalwell's campaign was dismissed as Seinfeld-esque, a presidential campaign about nothing. The article pointed out that in a recent CNN poll, Swalwell's poll numbers registered as an asterisk. But what Daily Beast writer Matt Lewis, who also happens to be another white guy, may not realize is that Swalwell got exactly what he wanted from this 3-month run. Because now, whenever he's introduced at some political function, he's going to be referred to as former presidential candidate Eric Swalwell. And unlike the other 20-some-odd Democrats who are never going to be president, Swalwell got out early without a lot of debt, without a lot of expense. And because he got almost no exposure, he got out before the inevitable major humiliation. So from his point of view, it really did end well for Swalwell and his campaign about nothing. It was never intended to be about anything, and it never amounted to anything except for former presidential candidate. And that's about all he's got going for him even now.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Go to Babbel.com or download the app and try it for free. That's Babbel, Babbel.com, or download the app to try it for free. That's Babbel.com.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Midway Avenue near Hearn Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Hamilton Road near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 1017 FM, Shreveport.
Good morning, just past 7 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM and 710 Keel. And Erin, local news, getting ready right now.
All eyes keeping an eye on the Gulf Coast region. We'll talk more about that. An early morning shooting in Shreveport. A man is shot 3 times. We'll talk about that as well. And an assistant police chief is fired.
Yep, Erin had some interesting conversations yesterday with people in the know about that $189,000 fine imposed by the state for not filling out on the city, rather. Fine the city for not filling out the tax forms in a timely manner. See if we can pry some more information.
Also had a good conversation about the bond issue, those items.
That's what
how'd we get to that list in 30 days?
$220 million could be on the bond issue, could be on the ballot in November. Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour here on Keel.
Now on 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
Hurricane watch for the stretch of the Gulf Coast. All of Louisiana is included. Hurricane Center's Dave Roberts says people may see dangerous winds and heavy rains by tomorrow.
Louisiana and southwestern portions of Mississippi, and possibly along the Texas-Louisiana border.
Governor John Bel Edwards says this could have a huge impact on our state.
The entire coastal area of Louisiana is at play in this storm, and we're talking about as much as 10 to 15 inches of rain over a 24-hour period that will start sometime Friday in all likelihood and go through Saturday.
Roberts says some parts of the state could get upwards of 20 inches of rain. LSU Health Shreveport and Louisiana Tech announcing they're partnering up for a new research center. It will focus on tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Health officials say the partnership is a game changer and can benefit more than 1 million people across the state. On top of the benefits for patients, school officials say it will be an economic boom for the area. Low and middle income students in Texas who are headed to the state's flagship university are getting free tuition. Rob Dawson details it.
Thanks to a unanimous vote by the School System Board of Regents, in-state students whose families make less than $65,000 a year can attend the University of Texas at Austin tuition-free next semester. The Regents decided to use the $160 million from the state's Permanent University Fund to help cover the cost of an estimated 8,600 students, just under a quarter of the undergraduate student body. In addition, the new endowment will provide tuition support to students from families with incomes of up to $125,000 who have financial need. Rob Dawson, Fox News.
Shreveport police investigating an early morning shooting. A man was shot multiple times about 3:30 this morning. It happened on Herndon Avenue. No arrests made. The assistant police chief in Manny has been fired. Dwayne Brumley fired by the town council after he allegedly cursed out 2 members during a meeting last month. Now, during that same meeting, the mayor of Manny was arrested for allegedly speeding and resisting arrest. An interview with a murder suspect will be allowed at trial. After a nearly 3-hour hearing, a judge will allow a police interview with Geronia Crosby to be heard at her second-degree murder trial. Crosby, along with 15-year-old Alonzo Wilson, is accused of shooting and killing Airman Joshua Kidd outside his Bossier home. During that interview, Crosby admitted to breaking into cars in Kidd's neighborhood, but denies killing Kidd. Caddo schools have a couple of job fairs planned for next week. Matt Parker details it.
Caddo Parish Public Schools will be hosting 2 job fairs next week. The school system is looking for bus drivers and attendants. Candidates will be interviewed and potentially hired on the spot. The first event will take place Monday from 9 to 1 at the Wanda Gun Development Center. The second fair will take place at North Caddo High from 9 to 1 on July 17th. From 1017 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
At the ESPY Awards last night, Bill Russell wins the Arthur Ashe Humanitarian Award. The best team of the year goes to the Women's World Cup soccer team. And a very bizarre custody fight. Couple goes to the Cha Fertility Clinic in California to become impregnated with their own embryo. Well, the embryo was implanted in a New York couple. That couple gave birth to 2 baby boys. Well, it turns out the baby boys are not theirs. One belongs to the first couple. They've come forward. Another couple parented the second baby. They've not come forward yet, but the couples involved so far, all of them involved, are suing the Cha Fertility Clinic. The babies have been turned over to their biological parents. I'm Erin McCarty on 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Thursday traffic time. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Olmenden Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app, a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. So if you had to put it, just give me odds that we, this November, will be voting on a $220 million bond proposal to fund any, good heavens, a whole litany of things for the city, from a new police station maybe, to new fire trucks maybe, to new roads maybe, to also economic development, one of those vagaries listed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? Is it a done deal as it stands now? What do you think the city council is thinking? Because it's got to go through them too.
Well, I spoke to some council members, current ones, former ones, and one of the things that just jumped out of those conversations was the last time we did a bond proposal, I forget what year, several years ago, it was studied for 18 months to 2 years, depending on who I spoke to.
Okay, so
it was an 18-month process.
Okay.
These hearings for this bond proposal started in June. So we've done 30 days of hearings, meetings, studies for this $220 million bond proposal, that previous bond proposals have been studied and evaluated for upwards of 2 years.
So this committee, this citizens group that was doing this study,
I mean, they were obviously on a fast track.
at the behest of the Perkins administration. Who, do we know any of the people on these committees?
I don't have the names now, but I could get it for you. There were several people that were prominent, you would know, that were on these committees. There were two from each council district, and I think the mayor appointed two. And they've been having regular meetings, listening to the department heads on their needs, listening to citizens, etc. My problem is the specificity of this list, and the list is, it's defined and it's broken down by, areas where we have needs, and it's all it's at keelnews.com
on the website.
But there are things in it to me that look like slush funds. Okay?
Whoa.
I know.
Hold on.
I know. SF is pretty strong.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, you have almost $12 million in a category that says Economic Growth and Job Creation Fund. What's that mean? What am I paying for? What am I voting for? Who's going to allocate this $12 million bucks?
Let me speak.
Is this give jobs to my buddies?
Let me speak kindly of that lack of specificity.
Mm-hmm.
You never know what's going to be coming down the pike. You never know what money we might need.
I mean,
promote.
you might buy an old GM plant with that, right?
You might need money to promote the city of Shreveport in any number of ways, and it's good to have this money set aside just in case we need it.
A slush fund, yeah.
No, that's not what a slush fund is.
Come on now.
Is that your term, or is that the term to someone you spoke?
Call a slush a slush.
Is that your term?
It is more than my term.
Or is that a term
It is
that
multiple
was used?
people's terms. Multiple people said, that's a little too vague. Maybe they didn't say slush, but they were like, little too vague. You got to tell me how you're spending that. You can't just tell me to vote for $12 million to create jobs. Okay, we're going to create jobs, $12 million. How? What are you going to do? What's the plan? Give me a plan. Give me an idea. Are you going to fly to Germany to recruit this German, Volkswagen dealership or Volkswagen manufacturing company?
They're mostly in China now, by the way.
Yeah,
but I know what
I'm just giving you an idea. Then you have an amount in a category called citywide roadway improvements, $25 million. That's all right. Housing infrastructure, $5 million. Give me an idea. Housing infrastructure. You gonna fix up whose house? Whose houses are getting fixed up? You know what I mean? Whose driveway is getting repaved?
3 South Highlands homes.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Boy, Grayson, your place looks good now. You know what I mean? Is it going to be somebody's downtown condo they just built or just bought? I don't know. I'm sorry. Did I just say that? I don't know. I need some specificity. And I say things kind of inflammatory for a reason. Sometimes I say these things.
Sometimes.
But people are thinking what I'm saying. That's the thing. People are thinking what I say out loud. And some days I shouldn't say it out loud.
So have you been able to some degree to canvass the 7 city council people?
No.
I know that Reverend Green is, at least to Robert and Erin, that we are
I don't know why
persona non grata.
why doesn't he return my call?
I don't know.
Does he not? Have I ever done anything to harm him?
So Reverend Green, to him we are persona non grata.
I guess. He's on another radio station.
Have you spoken to any of the others, and have they given you an inclination, a little insight into, as it stands now, as they have seen the same information, the same breakdown of the $220 million in funding that you have in front of you? Have they given you a little, have they given you a direction? Have they sort of said to you, this is how I'm leaning?
No, and I haven't. A couple of the ones I've talked to said they need some more detailed information, like when you say city court building improvements, $750,000. What are we going to do? Citywide playground improvements. I want to see details on that. Parks and recreation, public buildings, $5 million. Give me an idea what you're going to do. Parking lot overlays, $1.5 million. What parking lots are going to be overlaid?
Erin McCarty, you really want this thing broken down to the penny, don't you? You want to see where everything is going to go. You want nothing on that list of bond money
look at this.
That is not specifically allocated.
Citywide water improvements, $20 million. Citywide water improvements. Okay. Does that mean you're going to fix the water billing system?
Or does it mean it's going to taste better?
Yeah, or is it going to taste? Are you going to buy water from Bossier now? You're going to what are you doing with 20 million? 20 million's a gobsmack load of money.
So tomorrow morning, who are we trying to get? Who's supposed to come in, and what about?
Sharika Fields Jones will join us tomorrow morning at 8:10. We're going to go over this list, how it was developed, how this bond issue will work, because I'm ignorant, and maybe they'll call me ignorant. I don't know. But I see a 15 mil property tax rolling off the books at the end of the year, and this would essentially keep that on the books. I see that as a tax increase because I see it like a car note. If my car note goes away at the end of this year, I'm planning on using that monthly car note money for other things.
But you're going to vote on buying a new car.
But I don't want to buy a new car.
Then you're against
my
it.
current car is
Then-
perfectly in good shape.
Well, look around.
I can
though.
drive the
Are
car
fire
for another.
trucks
Yes.
perfectly good? Are the parks perfectly good? Are the roads perfectly good?
You know what?
All the things that might be on this list to pay for,
Mm-hmm.
as were pointed out, as were to a great degree specified by Councilman Butcher on Monday or Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we find ourselves in a spot of bother, as the Brits say.
Yes. One person that has dealt, I'll just say a former council member told me what he would anticipate. And he said, this council needs to know this is their job. It is their job to pick the projects they want in this bond issue. The mayor can give them ideas, but it is their job to design this ballot. And they need to know they have that authority. And he said, I would anticipate they will scale this back to about $75 million with the highest priority items: police station, the fire trucks, some of the water and sewer repairs, some of the road repairs. He said, I anticipate they will scale it back to the absolute necessities and then take that to the voters.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports just ahead. Traffic now. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Midway Avenue near Hearn Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Hamilton Road near Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Walk-Ons Independence Bowl kickoff dinner is tonight downtown Shreveport Convention Center. Dinner starts around 6 o'clock. Your featured speaker tonight, former North Webster Knight, former LSU Tiger, current rookie for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Devin White. The Mudbugs, well, the future Mudbugs, are on the ice in Canton, Michigan today through Sunday as part of the main camp. Over 150 players have assembled there, and the Bugs will take the genesis of their team from this camp. They'll assemble at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum in late August to try to winnow it down to the roster for the fourth season of Mudbugs hockey. Major League Baseball season resumes this evening in Arlington, Texas, when the Astros, the front-runners in the West, take on the Rangers for the first of four. Framber Valdez goes up against Lance Lynn to get the second half of the Major League Baseball season underway. And at Wimbledon this morning, Serena Williams tries to become the oldest player to qualify for a Grand Slam final when she takes on Barbora Strakova in the semifinals at Wimbledon. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. New Orleans is a mess.
It is. If the water just keeps
and
rising.
It's not really it's not a hurricane. It's barely a tropical storm, I guess.
Know. It's just the rain.
The problem is they're getting like 5, 6, 7 inches of rain every 20 minutes
They're
or something.
saturated.
Yeah.
It's saturated. The Mississippi River is at, 20 feet.
Here's the deal, is that we know a whole bunch of folks in New Orleans right now that we could call and say, you want to talk to us about it, but their houses are flooded, and it just seems like it's just not a cool thing to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our friend Daniel Erspamer from Pelican Institute he's got pictures on his page yesterday where his office in his home, looks like his first floor of his house, the bottom floor is 4 or 5 inches underwater. Right. I mean, that's just I cannot imagine what that would be like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it right now. You live in a 2-level home.
Yep.
Imagine if you knew that tomorrow at noon your downstairs was going to have 6 inches of water. What would you do?
Whew. I'd start moving stuff upstairs, I guess.
Yeah.
Or getting people to do it. I'd call in.
Okay, so here's the deal. What if everybody in your neighborhood knew that? What if everybody within a 5-mile radius of your home knew that if they had a 2-level home, that the bottom floor was going to have 4 or 5 or 6 inches of rain and suddenly of water, and suddenly you go, well, wait a second. I really would like to move that $2,000 leather sofa upstairs. I can't move it by myself. Unfortunately, there's nobody to move it because everybody is looking for the same moving guys I am.
Well, I've got a 25-year-old son.
You see my point.
And I got a Matt Parker, who I know Matt would drop everything to help me.
Sure, I would.
For a couple of $100.
You're the first person I would leap out of the house to help.
I could find people to help me. I could find people.
If you look at Daniel's house, don't you think Daniel said to himself, I could probably find somebody to help? Or what if you have to decide, this is valuable, this isn't? What if your stairs won't handle? I mean, think about, I've never seen your sofa. I've never been to your house.
I got a couple of big sofas, yeah. I got a couple of big leather sofas.
You've got to sacrifice something.
I've got my grandmother's dining room set in my downstairs. It would have to go up. It's my grandmother's. It dates to 1901.
You see my point.
It's going to be saved.
Will it? Or you set it on top of the sofa. The point I'm making is you've got to make some tough decisions. You've got some hard, and then you've got to get out. You've got to find a place to go. And it's not just you. It's 100,000 or 10,000 or 5,000, whatever number of people.
Well, you have
a
spare room.
Whatever number of people it happens for an entire city.
Whew. That's tough. That's tough. Yeah, you got a whole city fleeing. Really, really tough. And water keeps rising and more rain still coming down. I don't.
What's the New Orleans forecast? It's supposed to just sit around there as this storm moves through.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to keep raining in New Orleans another couple or 3 days.
Yes, they're
going to still be raining in New Orleans by the time it gets up to us, or at least the edge of this storm gets to us this weekend.
Right. The storm is not expected to make landfall until Saturday, I believe.
And already it's beating the crap out of New Orleans.
Pummeling rain. The water could reach 3 to 6 feet above ground somewhere in the area between the Pearl River, which is kind of the state line, and the Intercoastal Waterway, which is over there, on the other side of Lafayette. It's just going to be
And for a million reasons, the Mississippi River is well beyond its banks already.
Yes, and there's nowhere. New Orleans may have great pumps, and they may all be working. Where are you going to pump the water?
Parky?
I just saw an article not too terribly long ago that one of the biggest concerns down there now is the Mississippi going over the flood walls or whatever. Like the surges before the storm even gets there, because the river's so high, just tearing things up.
And you and I know in our community how fast that Red River flows. Think about the Mississippi River. I mean, it's 10 times as wider than the Red River, probably.
If you look at videos this morning, Canal Street, 3-4 inches of water. Bourbon Street, 3-4 inches of water, and that's right there. That's
Where are you headed, Matt, this next week?
I'm going down to New Orleans.
That's
Yeah.
about 600 to 800 yards.
We need to get him
from
some
the
galoshes
banks of that river.
Yeah.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Local news just ahead. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at North Market and North Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near McDade Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Better. The power of information. KEEL News now.
Hurricane watches are in effect for parts of the Louisiana coastline, with a storm forming in the Gulf likely to make landfall by this weekend.
In addition to the hurricane and storm surge watches, we also have a tropical storm watch, which is in effect from the mouth of the Mississippi River northward to the mouth of the Pearl River.
Hurricane specialist Dave Roberts with the National Hurricane Center. Governor John Bel Edwards is preparing for this massive event.
We know that this is going to be a Louisiana event now in all probability. This is going to be a heavy rainfall event across South Louisiana. And I want everyone to be mindful that heavy rains could be experienced anywhere across the state.
The National Guard has been called in to help with the preparation efforts. LSU Health Shreveport and Louisiana Tech announcing they're partnering up for a new research center. The center will focus on tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Health officials say the partnership is a game changer and can benefit more than 1 million people across our state. On top of the benefits for patients, school officials say it will be an economic boom for the area. An interview with a murder suspect will be allowed at trial. Matt Parker has the latest.
After a nearly 3-hour hearing, a judge will allow police's interview with Jeriona Crosby to be heard at her second-degree murder trial. Crosby, along with 15-year-old Alonzo Wilson, is accused of shooting and killing Airman Joshua Kidd outside his Bossier City home. In the interview, Crosby admitted to breaking into cars in Kidd's neighborhood, but denies being involved in Kidd's killing. From 101.7 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport police investigating an early morning shooting. According to investigators, a man was shot multiple times about 3:30 this morning on Herndon Avenue. The victim suffered wounds to the hand, leg, and buttocks. No arrests have yet been made. A top U.S. Air Force general accused of sexual misconduct. Carmen Roberts has that.
Sexual misconduct allegations against a top general are calling into question his nomination to be the next vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. A senior military official tells the Associated Press Air Force General John Hyten subjected her to a series of unwanted sexual advances while she was one of his aides in 2017. Members of Congress have questions about the allegations and the military investigation earlier this year that found insufficient evidence to charge him. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Assistant Police Chief is fired. Dwayne Brumley fired by the Manny Town Council after Brumley allegedly cursed out 2 members during a meeting last month. Now, during that same meeting, the mayor of Manny was arrested for allegedly speeding and resisting arrest. Caddo School's hosting 2 job fairs next week. They're looking for bus drivers and attendants. Candidates will be interviewed and potentially hired on the spot. The first event happens Monday at the Wanda Gun Development Center on Midway from 9 to 1. The second will happen at North Caddo High from 9 to 1. That's on July 17th. Some of Elvis's vehicles, including his prized limo, going on the auction block.
Cruise GWS Auctions said the items will be part of its Artifacts of Hollywood auction August 31st. Fans will be able to bid on Presley's white-on-white 1973 Lincoln Continental Stretch limousine. Also up for auction, a 1976 Harley-Davidson Electra Glide motorcycle, which was also the last motorcycle Presley ever purchased. And finally, a GMC pickup he purchased for his Circle G ranch in Mississippi. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
New list is out with the best cities in the U.S. to visit. New York City is number 5, followed by Savannah, Georgia. New Orleans is number 3 on the list. Santa Fe, New Mexico, number 2. And Charleston, South Carolina is number 1. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Plus all used vehicles backed by multi-point inspections with low mileage and one-owner vehicles available. So if you're in hundreds of on a used vehicle, get to Roundtree.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin, yes'm.
I would like you to take a quiz that I have online, if you don't mind. Will you go to keelnews.com?
How long is this going to take?
It's going to take you 10 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
And it just simply says, because I had somebody I was arguing the other day with what are the worst traffic headaches in Shreveport-Bossier. And so I was trying to think of where you get in the worst traffic jams. Airline Drive at 220 was like up there at the top. Matt suggested the Cross Lake Bridge. He says he gets in a traffic jam up there all the time. But Uri Drive near 70th Street is just always such a, especially in the holidays. So I'm trying to think which is worse. And I've put a bunch of them on there, and you can
Uri
pick.
At Bert Coons will back. Uri at 70th will back up at
there's a bunch of
them.
I still think
I stay on East Kings, so
yeah, I still think Airline's the worst. I still think Airline Drive up near 220 is the worst. I think it's worse than Uri Drive.
Airline at Shed, Airline at East Texas.
There's a bunch of them. I just
Airline
put Airline Drive in general on the list. So go check it out. It's what streets have the worst traffic jams in the SBC. It's a little quiz. I just want your opinion. Trying to figure out, which one needs more attention. And I know the Airline Drive backup causes backups on Benton Road because people pop over there to avoid Airline Drive. And I'm thinking,
yeah, Benton Road at Shed is pretty bad.
Yeah,
right there at Kim's Seafood.
Yeah, it's just slow. It really is slow. So I was just curious. So I put a little quizzy poo up there, and
a little what?
A little quizzy poo.
Oh, yeah. That's the official digital term.
And if you don't want to, that's okay. But I would appreciate your opinion.
Do the quizzy, skip the poo.
Yeah, do.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue southbound just south of Kings Highway. And we're dealing with some traffic delays on Benton Road near Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The governor was originally scheduled. Governor John Bell Edwards scheduled to be here this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Was it 7:10 or 8:10 or wherever
yeah, whenever sometime between 7 and 7:30.
Whenever the Bell Mobile pulled up.
When he walked in, We're going to reschedule that with his campaign folks. He's taking that bus tour around the state. And I appreciate all the questions. We got a lot of questions in the email and text line and all that for the governor.
So what would be your number one question? If the governor were here, what's number one thing, the thing that you rail about? And you've been you've been a big railer lately, especially about the street lights yesterday. We'll cover that in the 8 o'clock hour.
Well, I would like to see the governor, and this is really local specific. And I think that's what we need to hone in on him with, because folks locally want to know, we need some of the bacon, and we don't seem to get any of the bacon. And we get the fatty parts of the bacon. We don't get the good.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Meaty parts of the bacon. When you look at the leadership positions in the legislature, we don't have any of that. We don't seem to get, the transportation dollars. I don't think we get our share.
And yet, no. If you look around the state, I just got back from New Orleans. How many politicians from that part of the state, how many politicians from this part of the state will tell you that, and you can talk to them and see. I just drove through Baton Rouge. I just drove through New Orleans. When they look at our infrastructure, no matter what we think about the state of our roads and bridges, when they look at Shreveport and Bossier, they say, oh, wait a second, you guys got like 5 bridges. You've got a loop around the city. You've got 30. You got 220. You got 31, 32.
You got 2 interstates. Yep.
And you guys are worried about a 3.9 mile stretch. We've got one. I went over the old Mississippi River Bridge going through Baton Rouge last time.
I love that bridge.
Yeah, except it makes Jimmy Davis look like...
I know. It's rickety.
Palatial.
It's rickety.
Holy cow, I thought I was going to roll off.
It's rickety.
It's scary as hell. It's
question,
like an amusement park ride.
My question to Jay Beasy would be this. Will you pledge to the Shreveport-Bossier residents, that you will put the inner city connector of I-49 on the fast track, much like you did the exit at Barksdale? If he wants it done, he will do it like he did that Barksdale exit. He put that baby on the fast track. That baby is rolling. They're going to be constructing that. It's going to be built. We're going to be driving on it before I have a grandbaby, which is a good thing. I want to be driving on the inner city connector before I have a great grandbaby. Can we get on that?
So in your mind, that inner city connector is the number one, most important, top of the charts with a bullet.
I think it matters to our area. I think it matters to the whole state. I think it makes a direct path of I-49, which is going to go all the way to Kansas City. I think it makes that interstate a direct shot from there to New Orleans. The loop around the city, yes, it's doable and it's all right. But think about it if you live in North Bossier and you work at Willis Knighton Piermont. You have to come, right now you have to use Airline Drive or the Parkway or whatever.
The convenience of an I-49 intercity connector.
If you could plop on 220.
But I'm asking you,
plop over to 49.
Of all the things that Shreveport, Bossier, and or the state of Louisiana need, is that what would be number one for you when the governor comes in here at some point and
That is for our area. And I've told you this from the moment we moved to this radio station. If our leaders do not complete the inner city portion of I-49, it will be the biggest economic mistake they have made in 100 years in our city.
Google something for me.
All right, let me get to the
Congressional Budget Office.
Okay.
Congressional Budget Office minimum wage. Because the governor has been a major proponent. We need to increase The minimum wage in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And a CBO report came out a couple of days ago, and it said, do you see how many jobs? Do you see it right there in the headline?
The effects on unemployment and family income of increasing.
I think it was like 1.2 million.
A strong endorsement of the 15 million minimum wage from the Congressional Budget Office.
No, there was a CBO article. A CBO report came out a couple of days ago.
Cut 1.3 million jobs. CBO says
that an increase in the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour. This is the left-leaning. I mean, the CBO is hardly a conservative think tank.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Erspamer, Stephen Wagasback, never going to be on the members of the Congressional Budget Office.
Right.
It is a left-leaning machine.
Mm-hmm.
And so the CBO is saying that an increase nationwide to $15 an hour minimum wage would cost America how many millions of jobs?
1.3 million jobs. It would boost the pay of 17 million workers, but it would cut 1.3 million jobs.
So the governor, who has been a major proponent of a minimum wage increase, that would be my question. The CBO, hardly a conservative think tank, says that an increase in the minimum wage would cost over 1 million people in this country. Louisiana is dying for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Louisiana is begging for employment. Do you think increasing the minimum wage, given this report, is something that you would still support?
Ooh.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue southbound just south of Kings Highway. And we're dealing with some traffic delays on Benton Road near Shed Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96. Clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 Keel. Fletcher time. Sports on Keel.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Walk-Ons Independence Bowl kickoff dinner is tonight downtown Shreveport Convention Center. Dinner starts around 6 o'clock. Your featured speaker tonight, former North Webster Knight, former LSU Tiger, current rookie for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Devin White. The Mudbugs, well, the future Mudbugs, are on the ice in Canton, Michigan today through Sunday as part of the main camp. Over 150 players have assembled there, and the Bugs will take the genesis of their team from this camp. They'll assemble at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum in late August to try to winnow it down to the roster for the 4th season of Mud Bugs hockey. Major League Baseball season resumes this evening in Arlington, Texas, when the Astros, the front runners in the West, take on the Rangers for the first of 4. Framber Valdez goes up against Lance Lynn to get the second half of the Major League Baseball season underway. And at Wimbledon this morning, Serena Williams tries to become the oldest player to qualify for a Grand Slam final when she takes on Barbora Strakova in the semifinals at Wimbledon. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. You want to read the one you just got?
Yeah, I can read that. That's
Go
not
ahead
a problem.
and name a name if you are inclined. If not, don't worry about
someone
it.
on the committee of 100. When we talk about bridges, our bridges, though we do have 5 or 6 or whatever it is, are like a bayou bridge compared to the Mississippi River Bridge. Very true. For the proportion of dollars that the state collects from gas pumps in our region compared to other areas of the state, we don't get a fraction of that money back to us in the form of infrastructure. You are exactly right. We are not getting our fair share of projects compared to the money collected from gas pumps. I-49 Intercity Connector is a must. I mean, that to me is, for me, that's a deal breaker. He doesn't commit to that for me. As a voter in this community, there's not a chance I would ever, I mean, not that I would, but there's not a chance I would ever think about voting for him.
Shreveport Security System text line 318-392-1884. Now, you had spoken yesterday to a former Shreveport elected official about the bond issue, the proposed $220 million deal. And this person told you what?
That back in 2011, when we did a bond issue, it was a similar sized bond issue, close. I'm not sure the exact amount. We studied it for 2 years.
But pertaining to the city council's responsibilities.
It's the city council's job to prioritize these projects and put the ones on the ballot they feel necessary. The mayor can suggest items, but it's their job, and they need to know it's up to them to prioritize the projects and put the ones on the ballot they think are most needed.
Another former elected city official. Typically, the bond issue reflects the needs of each council district with input from all councilmen. It's a collaborative effort for the good of the city, not the blank check for the whims of a mayor. When each councilman has skin in the game, he will work to promote it. Otherwise, it is asking taxpayers to give the mayor a box of money for his buddies to spend. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Hannity.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
There's no ambiguity that Hillary broke the law. The evidence violating the Espionage Act clear. And for all the Democrats that claim that they worry about obstruction and Donald Trump obstructed the investigation by the deep state, well, there was no underlying crime. Him complaining that it's a witch hunt and that he should fire people that were wasting taxpayer money and time, and that he's frustrated with the process because he knew he was innocent. How do innocent people act? They usually say they're innocent. He could have fired Mueller. He never did. He could have fired Rosenstein. He never did. He did fire Comey. Now we know Comey deserved it.
The conservative underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
It's happening to you every night. One snores, and the other can't sleep. It seems like there's no end to it. But now, there is a quick and easy-to-use solution. A natural solution. Snore Stop. Snore Stop was created and tested by a team of physicians and has been helping couples sleep for over 18 years. It is the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S.
Thank you, Snore Stop. You saved my marriage.
Snore Stop sprays or tablets are now available nationwide at Rite Aid and CVS. Or you can go online at snorestop.com. Don't wait. It's time to try Snore Stop and make every night a better night for both of you.
Thanks, Snore Stop. Now I'm back in the bedroom.
So don't wait. Try Snore Stop, the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S. Spray or tablets are available today at Rite Aid and CVS or online at snorestop.com. That's snorestop.com. Snore Stop, keeping you together.
The intersection at North Market and North Kern Avenues dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're looking at some traffic delays on Line Avenue southbound, just south of Kings Highway. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning. Just past 8, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL Air, and local news up next.
Watching the Gulf, and as a hurricane is forming, New Orleans could be in serious trouble. We'll talk more about that. Shreveport police investigating another early morning shooting. That's coming up as well. And if you're looking for a job, I got a couple of ideas.
Matt's in the middle of texting a friend of his in New Orleans. Is it bad? Nah, just regular flooding stuff. 6 inches in the lobby.
Oh, boy.
Holy cow. We will give you a New Orleans update. $189,000 city gets fined by the state. What more do we know than yesterday, and who did Erin talk to, and what did they say? Plus Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather. Oh, and some Indy Bowl news, too.
Big news.
Fletcher, traffic and weather this hour here on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
All eyes on the Gulf Coast region.
Currently, we do have a hurricane watch, which is in effect for portions of the mouth of the Mississippi to Cameron.
Hurricane specialist Dave Roberts, Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards declaring a state of emergency.
What I want to impress upon everyone is that even though at present we're talking about a storm system that is unnamed, you only have to go back to 2016 to remember exactly how dangerous and catastrophic unnamed storms can be. And so we all need to take this very, very seriously.
At least 10 to 15 inches of rain expected to fall in some areas. Now, Insurance Commissioner Jim Donlin has some tips on how to prepare in case you have damage from the storm.
Get in line as soon as possible to get a claims adjuster assigned to your claim so that that process can be expedited.
Donlin says that goes for cars as well, as the 2016 August flooding event resulted in 60,000 flooded cars, costing $700 million for state auto insurers. Shreveport police investigating an early morning shooting. According to investigators, a man was shot multiple times about 3:30 this morning on Herndon Avenue. The victim suffered wounds to the hand, leg, and butt. No arrests have been made. Assistant Police Chief is fired. Dwayne Brumley fired by the town of Manny after Brumley allegedly cursed out 2 members during a meeting last month. During that same meeting, the mayor of Manny was arrested for allegedly speed and resisting arrest. 2 educational powerhouses partner up for a new research center. Matt Parker with that.
LSU Health Shreveport and Louisiana Tech have announced they are partnering up for a new research center. The center will focus on tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Health officials say the partnership is a game changer and can benefit over 1 million people across the state. On top of the benefits for patients, school officials say it will be an economic boom for the area. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Also on the school front, Caddo Parish hosting a couple of job fairs next week. They're looking for bus drivers and attendants. Candidates will be interviewed and potentially hired on the spot. The first event is Monday from 9 to 1. The second is happening at North Caddo High from 9 to 1 on July 17th. Praise Temple gearing up for their 20th annual Better Together Back to School Supply Giveaway. The prayer service and giveaway will happen August 7th at Praise Temple Church on Greenwood Road. If you'd like to donate, you can drop off supplies or cash at the church. After a nearly 3-hour hearing, a judge will allow the police's interview with Jeronia Crosby to be heard at her second-degree murder trial. Crosby, along with 15-year-old Alonzo Wilson, is accused of shooting and killing airman Joshua Kidd outside his Bossier home. During the interview, Crosby admitted to breaking into cars in Kidd's neighborhood, but denies killing Kidd. Popeyes recalling more than 35,000 pounds of gravy. According to the producer, the gravy may contain clear plastic. Now, there have not been any reports of injury due to the possible contamination, but as a safety precaution, all Popeyes have been ordered to not serve the gravy until their supply has been inspected. And an armored truck spilled a lot of cash on a highway near Atlanta. It was on Highway 285. $175,000 in cash flew out. Only 2 people have returned any of the money. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Oh, my God, I just hiccuped.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you might want to.
You need to stand upside down
101.7 FM.
and put a spoonful of sugar in your mouth.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
Still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market, and we have some traffic delays on Benton Road near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig of the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. The KEEL app is always a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. I had also sent this late-breaking Twitter thing, this tweet thing, to somebody pretty high up in the eye bowl. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay, here it is. This is a tweet from last hour. Parky, when did you see this one?
Probably 20 minutes ago or so.
Okay, Brett McMurphy, sports guy. ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, cuts ties with Indy Bowl in new 2020 to 2025 bowl cycle. So Pac-12 may not commit to Indy Bowl without another Power 5 opponent. Sources say at Stadium. Other ACC changes include Gasparilla, Birmingham Bowl, etc., all vying for ACC's last spot. Greg Adams is here. Tell me what that means, amigo. What do you think? Are we pushing panic buttons in Shreveport?
Now, a lot of people will, because there are a lot of people who assume that without the SEC tie-in to begin with, that the Independence Bowl is dead in the water. There are going to be people who say without the ACC or Pac-12, if they don't come, then the Independence Bowl is dead in the water. I, however, think that this could be super beneficial.
Because this way we could get somebody local, right?
Yes, that to me, and I know it hurts, it stings. Anytime you get told that you're not wanted, that hurts. And it does have the potential to hurt TV deals. I heard earlier this week that there was a plan that was suggested that would have moved the Independence Bowl up to a December 3rd game. That would be a night game that would be played on ESPN2. That was shot down by ESPN because we always lose sight of the fact that ESPN is the puppet master here. As much as we think that there may be local control, there's really not that much local control. Almost all of this is exclusively decided by
At the end of the day,
ESPN.
pardon me, at the end of the day, we need to understand as to other bowls that we're really just programming. We're just Judge Judy with pigskin.
Yes, that's strictly what a bowl game is. And even when it comes down to the payouts, we talk about the payouts a lot. The Independence Bowl payout is not as high as other games. The only way to raise that is to have an infusion of cash, whether that's through a municipality like most bowls do, or a conference in particular, or a gigantic sponsor. None of those are knocking on the door in Shreveport right now, so we're basically... And I actually love this position. I love to be the scrappy, shouldn't exist bowl. Honestly, the Independence Bowl should not exist. And it's one of the bowls as their size, not owned by ESPN. Almost every other bowl that is the Independence Bowl size with the Independence Bowl payout is owned by ESPN. This game is not. This is locally owned and operated. It's a nonprofit here in Shreveport. This bowl shouldn't exist. So all of the hate that comes out towards the Independence Bowl for not having the right teams or not being interesting to people or for whatever their excuse is, I don't like the day or the time, it should more be about the fact that we have something that, for all intents and purposes, should not be here. But we have it. Other cities our size don't, and we should be doing everything in our power to keep it.
So the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, cuts ties with the Independence Bowl. And as a result, the Pac-12 out west may not be part of that bowl selection process. Just got a text from somebody, let's just say well-connected with the Independence Bowl. Jeez, can't say I'm surprised. That's kind of what I suspected would happen after the whole ESPN deal. I'm going to the bowl kickoff dinner tonight.
Yeah. That's
whoa.
Timing couldn't be any worse.
I'm going to the bowl kickoff dinner tonight. Should be a fun evening.
You know what? I'm right now. If there is a deal in place for 2020 with the American, with Conference USA, with the Sun Belt, you give me some of these conferences. The MAC would be great. Some action in Shreveport would be awesome because when we're talking about the 10th rated team in the SEC coming to Shreveport.
I'm sorry for yawning.
Well, we're talking about the 10th rated team in the SEC. That's exactly how people feel about it. When you got Vanderbilt showing up.
I don't want to watch the MAC. I don't want to watch these games.
No, but here's
I don't give a...
Here's
watch
the
button, Matt.
This is the beauty of something like the Independence Bowl. At its timing, people will be watching it. There's going to be eyeballs on it. The thing that we're missing right now are butts in the seats. So when you have Vanderbilt coming in as the number 10 team in the SEC, who from Vanderbilt wants to travel for their bowl game? Nobody, because they're going to go to a low bowl game.
And they're going to play UL Lafayette.
Now,
I don't want to watch that.
Now, here's the thing. If you get...
I don't want to watch Vanderbilt play Louisiana Tech.
Who do you want to watch?
I want to watch big schools. I want to watch somebody from the SEC, a big school from the SEC.
Then be prepared to cut an extra $1,200 a year in your property taxes to do a payout for the Independence Bowl.
We passed the tax for the hotel motel tax. Was that not enough?
No, it wasn't, because every other city is doing the exact same thing, but on a larger scale. So we're not even keeping up with what other people are doing. So we keep lagging behind. Every time we think that we're getting a little ahead, the Texas Bowl is infusing another $9 million in payouts.
Well, give me somebody big region. Give me an A&M, an Arkansas, an Ole Miss.
Those are
somebody like that.
You're dreaming.
You would need to increase property taxes in the city of Shreveport and put that money directly into the Independence Bowl payout in order to make.
So we're gonna get You'll Laugh or You'll Moan from Monroe or.
Those would be
Southeastern?
So if you get something like that, and if you had someone from the MAC, like an Ohio or a Central Michigan, those fans at that time of year will travel. And we could actually have people flying into Shreveport, staying in Shreveport.
I want to go
hotels and
see
buying tickets to the
Central
game.
Michigan. Are you serious?
But at that level, that part of it, who the teams are, isn't for you. The part of it to get the team part is to bring people into the city.
Don't we want local people to go? Don't we want local people to go to the game?
And the standpoint from that is a pride thing, a civic pride, because we shouldn't have this bowl game. They want to take it away. ESPN wants this bowl gone.
You got to give people a reason to go. You got to give locals a reason to go. Central Michigan is no reason to go.
So now we're back to one of the biggest questions that we ask every year. At what point is it Erin McCarty's duty to support the bowl, no matter
I'm not going to see Central Michigan.
Then you're not going.
I'm not going to waste my money. I want to see a good football team.
Okay, so you're not going to go see UL Lafayette. You're not going to go see Monroe, UL Monroe.
Do they even have a team? I don't know.
You're not going to go see Central Michigan, and you're not going to go see an SEC team. Who will you go see?
I'll go see an SEC team, but I won't go see a Vanderbilt.
That's who we're going to get. The point of the matter is we've run down the checklist of who we're going to get, and there's nobody that you want to go see.
I'd go see a Nebraska, an Oklahoma.
They're not coming here.
I'd go see an Oklahoma State.
They go to the Power Bowl.
I know, but let's get somebody from that conference.
We did. Vanderbilt. And you didn't go.
And at that point, even when you do get somebody like an Oklahoma State, if they have a stud player that has made them a decent team to watch, they're not going to play in Shreveport. They're not going to play in the Independence Bowl because they're going to skip it.
I know.
Bowl director Missy Setter's a bit later this hour.
We hope, yeah.
What's she going to tell us?
Probably nothing, because we are dealing in rumor and innuendo right now. We're dealing off from a report from a Brett McMurphy who has been right a lot, has been wrong in the past too. She's probably got a lot of NDAs she can't talk about as far as the sponsors and ESPN deals. We probably aren't going to learn a lot from her, except for potentially just the mood that she's in.
One more question. Are we the football equivalent, the bowl equivalent right now of downtown New Orleans? Is the water rising?
No. I think that there is a perception that this is all bad news, but I think in the end, this could probably be the best thing. Like when
Are the pumps working, though?
The pumps are working in both cases.
Okay.
What this is it's when you have a sponsor pull out, like a Camping World, and everyone goes, the sky is falling right now. And then walk-ons come strolling in and bring some of the best sponsorship opportunities that the Independence Bowl has seen in a long time. I think right now with these big conferences pulling out, it may look like the sky is falling, but I think this will be beneficial for ticket sales and for the game itself moving forward.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Greg Adams, weekday afternoons here at 5 o'clock on KEEL. Traffic time, here's Ruben.
The intersection at Hearn Avenue and Greenwood Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports Time.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The Walk-Ons Independence Bowl kickoff dinner is tonight downtown Shreveport Convention Center. Dinner starts around 6 o'clock. Your featured speaker tonight, former North Webster Knight, former LSU Tiger, current rookie for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Devin White. The Mudbugs, well, the future Mudbugs, are on the ice in Canton, Michigan today through Sunday as part of the main camp. Over 150 players have assembled there, and the Bugs will take the genesis of their team from this camp. They'll assemble at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum in late August to try to winnow it down to the roster for the fourth season of Mudbugs hockey. Major League Baseball season resumes this evening in Arlington, Texas, when the Astros, the front-runners in the West, take on the Rangers for the first of four. Framber Valdez goes up against Lance Lynn to get the second half of the Major League Baseball season underway. And at Wimbledon this morning, Serena Williams tries to become the oldest player to qualify for a Grand Slam final when she takes on Barbora Strakova in the semifinals at Wimbledon. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. So,
shout out, by the way, Jim Henderson listening to us in Baton Rouge. You can listen on the Keel app anywhere you are. It's we're loud and clear, and I sound sexier on the app.
Dr. Jim, how's the weather? Is it raining? Matt is texting back and forth with a friend of ours who lives in New Orleans, down off Poydras in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you can read it directly. Well, no, it's not that bad today. Just regular flood stuff, only 6 inches in the lobby.
Well, that was yesterday.
Water.
Yeah. Yesterday, due to the flash flooding, there was 1.5 to 2 feet of water in certain places. The lobby of his apartment complex had 6 inches.
His building, yeah, he's kind of in a high-rise deal.
He had to walk to work, and he said the water's over his knees. He's about 6'2".
Wow.
But he said as soon as it quit raining, I guess the pumps kicked in or whatever, and it was all gone in like 10 minutes.
So. Where are they pumping the
and
water?
It's
There's
not
no
supposed
place
to start
to put
raining
it.
again till about he said about noon today. It's supposed to get
noon,
heavy
1
again.
o'clock. So
Man.
hopefully it's light.
They're not any this tropical storm, tropical depression. If I had 6 inches in my lobby, I'd be depressed too. The point being, this tropical depression Barry is they're not over the hump yet in New Orleans, are they?
No, they're not. They've got a lot more rain coming, and the Mississippi River is so swollen that I just don't know where more of this water's going to go, even if your pumps are working. I saw a report saying that New Orleans has 120 pumps. 118 of them are working.
Because if there's anybody you can believe, it's the Department of Public Works. in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Marky, what did you see about the Mississippi River? You read something just a little while ago.
That the river is so high, and with the expected rainfall and all the different factors, that before the storm actually makes landfall in New Orleans this weekend, that the Mississippi River could go over the flood walls, or whatever the proper term is.
Which is basically about where Harrah's is, which is basically where that Riverwalk area is,
friend
which
who
is
was
basically where you get on the carnival
Yeah.
boats to go out on the cruise.
Friend who was leaving Shreveport yesterday on a bus headed for the New Orleans Convention Center for a big sorority convention. And they were going to be at the New Orleans Convention Center.
Yeah,
I'm checking in with her to see if they've turned around and come back home.
Congratulations, Alexandria. You just got you a
Man.
convention.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now, it literally is. This storm, Barry, is not supposed to make landfall until a little bit later today, right? So all this rain so far.
Oh, not even today. No.
It's this weekend. It's just
Yeah.
the little bands that are spinning off whatever's going on in the Gulf is coming to land
And
now.
it's supposed to get up into our area on middle to late in the day on Saturday, the front end.
Right.
And then hit us really hard, I guess, on Sunday.
But it's not even going to become a hurricane until late tomorrow. And at that stage, it's only going to be a Cat 1 hurricane.
It's the
But
rain
it's the
right now that's
rain.
messing stuff
Yeah.
The one thing that may work in our favor is every time they project a new path of the storm, it's a little bit wider. So the best we can hope for is it keeps going wide.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Local news just a couple of seconds away. Here's traffic.
Still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market, and we have some traffic delays on Benton Road near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Information. KEEL News now.
Hurricane watches are in effect for parts of the Louisiana coastline, with a storm forming in the Gulf likely to make landfall by this weekend.
In addition to the hurricane and storm surge watches, we also have a tropical storm watch, which is in effect from the mouth of the Mississippi River northward to the mouth of the Pearl River.
Hurricane specialist Dave Roberts with the National Hurricane Center. Governor John Bell Edwards is preparing for this massive event.
We know that this is going to be a Louisiana event now in all probability. This is going to be a heavy rainfall event across South Louisiana, and I want everyone to be mindful that heavy rains could be experienced anywhere across the state.
The National Guard has been called in to help with the preparation efforts. LSU Health Shreveport and Louisiana Tech announcing they're partnering up for a new research center. The center will focus on tissue engineering and regenerative medicine. Health officials say the partnership is a game changer and can benefit more than 1 million people across our state. On top of the benefits for patients, school officials say it will be an economic boom for the area. An interview with a murder suspect will be allowed at trial. Matt Parker has the latest.
After a nearly 3-hour hearing, a judge will allow police's interview with Jeriona Crosby to be heard at her second-degree murder trial. Crosby, along with 15-year-old Alonzo Wilson, is accused of shooting and killing Airman Joshua Kidd outside his Bossier City home. In the interview, Crosby admitted to breaking into cars in Kidd's neighborhood, but denies being involved in Kidd's killing. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport police investigating an early morning shooting. According to investigators, a man was shot multiple times about 3:30 this morning on Herndon Avenue. The victim suffered wounds to the hand, leg, and buttocks. No arrests have yet been made. A top U.S. Air Force general accused of sexual misconduct. Carmen Roberts has that.
Sexual misconduct allegations against a top general are calling into question his nomination to be the next vice chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. A senior military official tells the Associated Press Air Force General John Hyten subjected her to a series of unwanted sexual advances while she was one of his aides in 2017. Members of Congress have questions about the allegations and the military investigation earlier this year that found insufficient evidence to charge him. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Assistant Police Chief is fired. Dwayne Brumley fired by the Manny Town Council after Brumley allegedly cursed out 2 members during a meeting last month. Now, during that same meeting, the mayor of Manny was arrested for allegedly speeding and resisting arrest. Caddo School's hosting 2 job fairs next week. They're looking for bus drivers and attendants. Candidates will be interviewed and potentially hired on the spot. The first event happens Monday at the Wanda Gun Development Center on Midway from 9 to 1. The second will happen at North Caddo High from 9 to 1. That's on July 17th. Some of Elvis's vehicles, including his prized limo, going on the auction block.
Cruise GWS Auctions said the items will be part of its Artifacts of Hollywood auction August 31st. Fans will be able to bid on Presley's white-on-white 1973 Lincoln Continental Stretch limousine. Also up for auction, a 1976 Harley-Davidson Electra Glide motorcycle, which was also the last motorcycle Presley ever purchased. And finally, a GMC pickup he purchased for his Circle G ranch in Mississippi. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
New list is out with the best cities in the U.S. to visit. New York City is number 5, followed by Savannah, Georgia. New Orleans is number 3 on the list. Santa Fe, New Mexico, number 2. And Charleston, South Carolina is number 1. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. I didn't have the hiccups, by the way.
You didn't good.
It was just a singular lone hiccup.
Yeah.
Somewhere, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin, somewhere we need to find that and play it on the radio.
We do.
Have we ever played it on the air? I don't think we have.
I don't know if we have.
No, we have. We did. We
Did we?
one morning. Yeah.
You with the hiccups?
Yeah.
Trying to do
hilarious.
a newscast.
It was rough.
He kept goofing
It was
it up.
awesome. I don't think I've ever seen you laugh that hard.
I need some advice, some mom advice.
Really?
Yeah.
What you need?
Is it weird?
Yes. Can we move on to something else now? Yes. Chances are, I would say 95th percentile.
It's weird.
If it's you, it's probably, yeah.
Just surprise my kid and take him to the Lion King movie. I know he's going to love it, but he doesn't want to go with me. He's not going to want to be surprised. He's going to want to know where we're going. You know, is it going to be like, do I do it on a Friday night?
You could go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah. I was thinking putt-putt.
Yeah.
Something like that. go-karts or something.
What an awesome mom and son day this will turn out to be.
I mean, just some time together, just go see the Lion. Because I know the Lion
You see
King
him
means
every day.
I see him every day. I know. We hang out. We go to eat.
I'm not arguing that.
But, I don't ever surprise him anymore. We don't do those kind of things anymore.
Of all the movies you would want to go to, why The Lion King?
Because I know he will love it. I know it will bring back memories of his childhood and, all that. I mean, he loved The Lion King when he was a little boy.
He wanted to black out that childhood. Yeah.
No, he does not.
I'm just kidding.
He had a great childhood.
I'm sure he
Except
did.
his time with his Uncle Bob.
Yeah, well. Here,
A lot of kids can say that.
Hold this wire. It'll be fine. 1017 FM, 710 Keel, trying to track down Missy Setters, Independence Bowl director.
She's got a swarm of a mess going on right now.
Yeah, no need to get into that detail, but there's some early breaking news actually regarding the Independence Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
That the ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, one of the two tie-ins, one of the new, they're saying, no, we don't want to do that.
Man.
And as a result, does the Pac-10 Pacific Coast, out on the West Coast, UCLA, USC, that conference, Stanford, are they going to back out? Are they going to balk at the agreement? Because that's one of the few powers, one of the few things that the individual conferences still have a say-so in as far as what bowl games they attend. 1017 FM, 710 Keel, traffic time. Ruben's here.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue near Olive Street due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Benton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Keel app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Missy Setters, Executive Director, Walk-Ons Independence Bowl. Hey, Miss Missy, how are you? Every time you come on and I say Miss Missy, it just sounds odd. Hey, Missy, how are you this morning? Great to have you back. How you been?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good.
Well, I'm looking at a tweet this morning, earlier today, from Brett McMurphy, ACC, Atlantic Coast Conference, cuts ties with Indy Bowl. Pac-12 may not commit. Is that legit? What do you know? What can you tell us?
Well, as far as the ACC, we knew that was a possibility. And right now we're still in talks with the Pac-12 and a number of other conferences. It's important to note that we're still tied in with the ACC and SEC through this year's game. And it's been a long process, but we're still working on everything for the future.
Is this, in the long-term scheme of things, is this a
is it good or bad?
Gut punch? Is it a punch in the nose? Is it just a little knuckle to the head?
Or does it, let me rephrase that just a little bit in a positive way, does it give you a little more say-so in maybe making the game a little more local in the years ahead?
I think there's possibilities in all of that. You're prepared for just about anything in this business, and so you try not to be caught off guard completely. And there's a lot to be said for flashy matchups. There's a lot to be said for regionality in this. And Erin, I was listening to y'all a little bit earlier, And when you look at the payouts with the Power 5 conferences in particular, if you want to focus in on the SEC, because Erin, I know you're a big LSU fan, the pool of what was 5 bowls and I think will now be 6 bowls, or maybe stay at 5 for the future. Do you have any idea what they're paying per team for one team in those pools?
Oh, $2 million?
$3.5 million,
Whoa.
and that'll probably go up.
Wow. Do the motel tax that we raised, that's not bringing in enough. That's not even close to what we need, correct?
Well, it is helping us with team payouts, and that's where it goes. And, we've branched out in a lot of areas in the last 2 years in particular. And so while that goes straight toward team payouts, we just finished our 9th year of a youth football clinic last month. We'll have 700 people at the convention center tonight to listen to Devin White. I hope you're going to that.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be our 10th year for that event. We have a big junior tennis tournament that'll bring in kids from 9 states in August. And then in September, we have our 5K and half marathon that's geared toward bringing people in, for hotel stays. So we've kind of branched out in what we're doing, but the focus still is on the game and the bowl week festivities. But we're working 12 months of the year now to bring in economic impact for the community.
Let me ask you this. I know you don't want to answer this, but I gotta ask it. Are bowls doomed?
No, I think you look at it's different. It is very different. The landscape is changing, and with the onset of the playoffs, and I think it'll stay at 4 teams for quite a while. I think the bowls are just seeing a period of adjustment, and it's not just bowls like us. It's across the board, and that's just part of the changing landscape of what we're seeing. And there's still, look, me as a college football fan, we're LSU people, and you look at the way the landscape has changed, and you look at the way the perception of all the bowls has changed. But when you're a college football fan, that's your focus. And there's a lot to be said for the fact that college football fans and viewers are some of the most passionate in the country.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to figure out where you fit into that landscape.
So the ACC says, we don't really want to go to Shreveport as a conference. As a result, the Pac-12 may balk at the deal. If that's the case, if this turns out to be legit, and you know way more about it than we do, what conferences do you as an organization, do you as a bowl game look at, and would we perhaps be better served down the line with a deal with maybe a mid-major like the MAC or something like that?
Well, that's a good question, and I can't go into a lot of details. I know Art Carmody has said the same thing, our chairman this year. I can't go into a lot of details because you're still in negotiations and discussions, but, there's a lot to be said for a lot of people, an influx of people coming into your community and dropping money here at restaurants and hotels. And that creates excitement within the local community and kind of catches on. So you have to look at that in the long term. How do you generate that excitement? And sometimes you have to do it from the inside out, and sometimes you do it from the outside in.
Doesn't that put you in sort of a precarious position, especially in dealing with, bluntly speaking, ESPN, where on one hand they may want you to get a lower-ranked team from a bigger conference for ratings, and yet a mid-major, a middle-sized school that travels well and would come here and spend money would be better for us. You see where maybe there's a little contradiction, sort of a tug-of-war there, right?
Well, ESPN owns, I think, 15 bowls right now, and you look at them, and they've got a little bit of everything in their bowl lineup. You look at, they go all the way from the Texas and Las Vegas Bowl down to a lot of bowls that have really good regional matchups. So I think they see the big picture in the landscape too.
Missy Setters, Executive Director of the Independence Bowl, the Walk-Ons Independence Bowl. Thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you. We appreciate y'all.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Your Money Now, presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union, just a couple of seconds away. Traffic update right now. Ruben looks ready.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Line Avenue near Olive Street due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on East Texas Street near Benton Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
No one can help me with this problem.
Rush Limbaugh, the authority for all things right. Weekdays from 11 to 2 on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
The Department of Health and Human Services is spending $100 billion every month this year. That's a 14% increase over last year and the most ever spent by any U.S. government department in history.
Now, Medicare is part of HHS, and it's one of the fastest growing programs in the federal budget. But like all government programs, it didn't start out that way. In fact, at the signing ceremony for the new Medicare program in 1965, President Lyndon Johnson declared this would help young families. And yet, today, taxes to support the program's skyrocketing costs have grown steadily for 45 years, eating away at the incomes and hopes of young families, which is exactly the opposite of what President Johnson promised.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. It was on TV the other night, and I just came across it and watched it. And it was still, I'm not sure, Jaws, Steven Spielberg.
Great movie.
You know what year that was off the top of your head? Did you hear us talking about it?
75? No.
75.
Was it?
Jaws is 44 years old.
Golly. I'm having trouble realizing that Forrest Gump is 25.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Or is it 25 or 30?
I think 25.
I think it's older than that.
Is it?
I don't think it's 30
There's
yet.
a great interview with Winston Groom, the author of the book, in Garden and Gun magazine. And basically he talks about, as an author, what you anticipate a movie of your premiere work will be like, and then what it turns out to be. And I am relatively unfamiliar with the book, and I did not know that in the book, Forrest Gump he's like 6'7", 250. He's a huge guy, and in fact played football in the movie. Just like in the movie, he played football at Alabama, but he was a tight end. I mean, in the book, he is totally, and to a great degree, personality-wise too, completely different from the way it ended up on the screen. And Groom, the author, talks about, wait a second, that's not my guy. Wait a second, you're changing this. In the book, he was also an astronaut and slept with Raquel Welch. I mean, there's a whole bunch of... I reckon if you talk to any author who has their book made into a movie, and most of them, bluntly speaking, are just awful. The only really good one I can think of in my mind is Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. But most of that transition from the novel or the page to the cinema is just not very good.
Right, it's not.
Off the top of your head, book to movie, can you think of anything that you really enjoyed?
The Notebook. I liked the book. Love the movie. The movie was just, I mean, I'm a Nicholas Sparks fan, and I like the book. I love a lot of his books, but the movie just really touched a
Sparky,
nerve.
off the top of your head, book to movie. Either the best or the worst.
Immediately, The Shootist, John Wayne.
A good transition?
Great book, great movie. There's only one slight difference between the two mediums that both are good. It's just the endings come out differently.
Tomorrow morning, CAO, Shreveport's Chief Administrative Officer Sharika Fields-Jones joins us to talk about the bond issue and some other topics. Anybody else? And the latest New Orleans news.
You bet.
Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Kim Commando.
In Oklahoma City the other day, a mom's Jeep Grand Cherokee exploded in flames. Fire officials say her iPhone overheated when it was charging the car's USB port. Kim Commando with your Thursday Consumer Tech Update. Get more know-how with our free tech newsletters delivered from me to your email daily. Sign up today at commando.com. Fortunately for Mom Jabrisha Pratt, her SUV was empty when her iPhone exploded in flames, and the windows weren't cracked either. But what happened? One thing to know is that the battery in her iPhone wasn't the original battery. It was a replacement that she ordered from a third-party seller on Amazon. And coincidentally, they pulled the battery from their list of available items. You want Apple to replace your battery, period. And only use the charger that came with your device. That's because some third-party chargers have a higher than recommended voltage, which can lead to overcharging and possibly pose a fire risk. So while Apple products may be more expensive, it's definitely worth it. I'm Kim Commando. When you're hiring, you don't want to waste time sorting through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. You need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using an intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
You make a million tough business decisions every day. So here's the easiest one of the year. Dell's Black Friday in July is back and bigger than ever. Get no-brainer deals on the very latest computers with Intel Core processors and a huge selection of servers, electronics, and more. All with free shipping on everything. To make your decision even easier, Dell's small business technology advisors can help you find just the right tech. Call 877-BUY-DELL. That's an easy call to make at 877-BUY-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusiness.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport, and we have some traffic delays on Barksdale Boulevard near McDade Street in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at the Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, our potential tropical cyclone expected to get better organized off of the Louisiana coast could become a hurricane before making landfall late Saturday. A lot of heavy rain on tap for Louisiana as a result. Partly cloudy, a shower here this afternoon, 96, clear tonight, 75. Afternoon storms tomorrow, high 93. Richard DeWettig at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.